activities when it comes to interfacing with the industry. Right now, I want to share with you some of the activities we've been doing, and maybe we may not be doing everything as part of NPTEL, but we did make a good attempt, to help NPTEL learners in a big way. Geeta, can you please share the presentation in the screen so that I'll
Sure.
explain from the slides? Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that we do as part of NPTEL is NPTEL has something called NPTEL Industry Associate Program, where we work with industry partners closely on various initiatives. So, and we do very interesting activities as part of industry interface. Geeta, it's better you put it in full screen, Geeta, if you don't mind. Yeah, thank you. So you can go to the previous slide. I'll explain. Yeah. So on a broader context, NPTEL, partners with various companies. I think we have now 75 plus partners where we do various activities with each of the partners. Some of them give us CSR support. Some of them give us job requirements. Some of them give us live sessions. But where we actually interact with each of these partners, that's the goal. So we work with 75 plus industry partners, including IBM, Infosys. Many companies are there, but basically trying to actually take best of what is there in the academic community from their perspective. They want good talent and they want to help, academic community. And for us, companies are there to help us to give industry perspective. Sometimes they give live sessions. Sometimes they also come and recruit our students. So we do various activities, but today we want to focus upon recruitment context. And many of you, who are doing NPTEL courses, you're very much keen to know how does NPTEL help in recruitment. But before I get into the detailed slides and detailed presentation, I want to put a caveat where I want to say that NPTEL doesn't guarantee jobs to its learners because we are a government project and we cannot do that as part of the project by legal norms. At the same time, we are also keen to help our students in giving them right opportunities, showcasing them what are the skills that they need to build so that they can actually go back and learn. So our idea is to create more awareness to the students, and we want to see that our students get good jobs, they do well in career. So we're very keen that we should help all our NPTEL learners. That's a goal. But at the same time, we come with constraints because we are a project in IIT Madras and we are a project funded by Government of India. So we don't officially promise anything. We're not a college to promise an admission or uh, uh, for example a job in a company. So coming back to this session primarily talks about internships and placement support that NPTEL is giving. I was telling you we work with 75 plus partners, and because we have partners, they have requirements. They come regularly and tell us, these are the kind of students we want. And the reason we want to do this session, at least some of you participated, I'm very happy that you are interested in knowing more about what NPTEL is doing as part of recruitment and internships. And why we feel this session is relevant is many times when we have a requirement, we may not have suitable students, though we may have in our database, but they may not be applying for our role. We want to keep all of you informed. We are doing something interesting so that all of you come back and eventually, tell your student that there is some option like this and you can apply. Yeah, Geeta, next slide, Geeta. So Geeta is part of my team. She's my colleague who's helping me in the NPTEL Industry Relations. I'm sure you must have seen her in some of the sessions earlier. So we kind of divide internship support or recruitment support into three steps. What is the process that we follow when it comes to either internships or recruitment? We want to explain today. And just to give you some numbers during the last 1 year, I want to share that. Then finally, the feedback from the students. So we did some interesting work that is actually encouraging us to come in front of you to share, what we have done till now. Yeah, Geeta, next slide. So when it comes to recruitment, we have something called resume form submission. Based on your eligibility, when I say eligibility, it's not your eligibility, but students' eligibility. If they've taken a NPTEL exam, they've got a good score. Based on their eligibility, we'll be sending them a resume form. So many times they have to do well and they have to pass. And we also check the year of graduation when they're completing the on-campus program. If they're, let us say, they're in a college and they have to complete the college degree, then only we share with them the resume form. And followed by that, we give an employability assessment. They need to complete these two. Then, as and when we get requirements for companies, we actually select topper candidates and shortlist them. and we share the required job application form to those shortlisted candidates. So this goes parallel activity, very simple. Like sometimes you may get job requirement first, sometimes you may shortlist students based on their performance in certain courses, and we give it to companies. So some of them directly get calls and they get jobs as well. And we ensure that whenever they fill the resume form, all the details required from a resume context or from an employer context is covered, and that's the information we use to share with the resume. And we also get explicit permission from the student to share this information with the recruiter. And recruiter will proceed with the next step, whether it's an online test or an interview. These are the first steps I want to share with you. Go on, Geeta, to the next slide. Yeah. So just to give you a summary about what we have done in the last few years, last 2 years, Capgemini, we got 62 NPTEL toppers who got placed, especially in various positions in Capgemini, which is very good because what Capgemini has done is they said anybody who's going through NPTEL and who's actually applying for jobs through Capgemini through NPTEL, they don't have to write a written test, which is very good, advantage for NPTEL toppers, NPTEL learners, very important. And we get some special requirements saying, they want only girl students from rural areas. So all these opportunities are coming. We are, regularly sharing with the SPOCs and the students, but sometimes the response is good, sometimes it can be better. That's what I would say. Sometimes we don't get enough number that we want to showcase to the companies because companies have a lot of requirement. And Infosys, we were able to get 57 job offers for, a role of software engineer around 5 lakh per annum. Then Tejas Networks, again, you can see a very good, number of people got jobs. Then M3 is a company where they do internships, followed by a 3-month internship, followed by a, job. 4 candidates got. And why we are focusing jobs which are high profile in terms of salaries, regular jobs, I'm sure many of the colleges themselves have in campus. So we're not going to focus, on the regular jobs, which typically a fresher students get. So we are trying to do something more than what they get regularly. So the regular typical jobs we don't go after because they're anyway available to students. So why should we do separately? L&T Defense, we have some students who got jobs. Then similarly, we have a platform called Geek Trust where we have partnered with. They do interesting thing where they get opportunities from companies, and if you do programming well on their platform, eventually you get jobs. So we got students who got salary around 5 lakhs. Some of them got even 14 lakhs. So they have very good set of companies on their platform, and some of our students have done very well. Similarly, some more companies are in pipeline in terms of results. So this is the summary. We want to tell you whenever there is opportunity, we are going to reach out to you. And we want to tell you also, GATE certification, sorry, NPTEL certification can definitely help you especially in getting jobs, not directly through us always, but through us also. We want to prove that some of the students do well, and we got consistent data that our students are doing well. So that's an important information I want to share with you. Geeta, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, this is the some of the feedback that we have received from the learners. What course they have done with us and how did they get the interview opportunity, and how they got placed in various companies, either it is Capgemini or it's Infosys. They clearly see that they have learned fundamentals, especially when they do NPTEL courses, and which we want to highlight to your students that students also look at some of this courses for learning. And the main thing that NPTEL provides is fundamentals for sure. Along with the fundamentals, they also get uh, you know good jobs. So some of them are asking what kind of courses they have done. So majority of them are courses in IT, either Python programming or Java, or some of the courses in IT are good, especially when they go for jobs. Like I told you, one, they build good skill set and they do well in the course. Second, they also gain confidence to attend interview, because most of the, for example, PDSA Python by Professor Madhavan Mukund is a very popular course. Many of them do that course because they do exactly what companies want. That particular course covers that syllabus, so they do very well when they do such courses. When they attend the interview, they have that confidence to face the interview very confidently. So that is where these courses are very relevant. It's not that whatever you learn you're going to get in the interview or an exam that you can crack it just like that. Not that way. It's you build the skill set, you also build the comfort, you also get the confidence to face the interview, and you do well. So there's a lot more you have to do along with NPTEL course, but NPTEL is a very good stepping stone. That's what we have received consistently from students as a feedback, that these courses are definitely helping them in building that skill set. Yeah, next slide, Geeta. So we also have something called internship support for NPTEL toppers, where we help our toppers to do internships in various IITs. This I would request Geeta to do a brief presentation to all of you. But the idea is to help our internship, opportunities that we have in various IITs with various professors for NPTEL toppers, and we also give stipend of rupees 2,500 if it is 2 weeks, or similarly if it is for longer duration we give a higher stipend. But the idea is to help our NPTEL learners with various opportunities that we have with the professor, and they get to work with the professor who taught the course. And generally, course toppers, the toppers in that course are given preference. Over to you, Geeta. Please go on.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, good evening, all. I'm Geeta. I handle internship for NPTEL learners. So, actually, from 2018 onwards, NPTEL has started offering internship to the course toppers. Actually, we want to give our NPTEL learners to give rich research experience from the professors. So now in this session, I'm going to explore what is the process to what is the procedure we are following to in the internship, and what is the eligibility criteria to take up this internship. So the eligibility criteria here is the students must be a course topper in one of the NPTEL course. Then only he or she will be eligible for the internship. And next, what will be the procedure we are following? Actually, this internship is purely based on the availability and willingness of the professor. So first we approach the professors and we get their availability and willingness to take internship. So once the professor agree to take the interns, then we will write to the toppers. So we will write to the toppers and we will share the application with the toppers. So through this application, we will get their resume and a one-page summary of their research interest. Then that will be shared with the professors. Now the professor will shortlist the intern. So after getting the shortlisted candidates from the professors, again we will go for the registration process, because to get the confirmation letter, the students has to fill the registration form. Okay, this is the overall process we are following in the internship. And then post internship, and we are there are based on the duration, we will provide a stipend to the candidates post internship. So 2 weeks internship, they will get 2,500, and 4 weeks internship, they will receive 5,000 stipend, as you can see in the screen. So post internship, based on the feedback from the professor, we will provide the stipend and we will provide the certificate to the candidates. So here I want to show some statistics here. So far 249 students have successfully completed their internship. Now the summer internship is going on. Soon we will start the winter internship. So next, I want to show some feedbacks from the intern candidates who successfully completed the internship. So here they explained how they are getting the research experience from the various IIT professors, and how the internship helps them to expand their knowledge and experience. So here, the important point here is if your students want to get this internship opportunity, then they should be a course topper in any one of the NPTEL course. This is the eligibility criteria to get the internship. Yeah, with this, I completed my presentation. So if you have any queries, please ask.
Yes, Box can unmute and ask your queries, or you can put it in the chat window.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Actually, the internship, as per the concern, they are required the industry internship. Most of the times, the AICT and other people are saying it is mandatory to each and every students go for industry internship. Then if NPTEL is taking provided the facility for the toppers, it's well and good. We got an opportunity for the under a particular professor. But if other students also secure very good marks, are they get the facility for doing the internship?
Right now, Mr. Satya, right now, if the companies are giving us an internship requirement, we are very happy to share. But right now, they are
Yeah.
not giving us any requirement right now for NPTEL students as such for industry
Okay. Okay.
internship. Like I
Sure,
shared
sure.
with you, there's a company called M3 which gave us internship come job, 3-month internship followed by a job. Such requirements we'll definitely share with you. But the
Yes.
problem is most of the companies are waiting for students to complete their degrees, which means they
Yeah,
would have
definitely.
graduated, right? There's no scope for internship.
Definitely.
So that's where we currently struggle. And second, if you see the whole internship cycle also for companies, unlike jobs, the number of internship opportunities are limited when you compare number of job opportunities. In typical companies, many companies have only job opportunities. Some of them don't have an internship role at all. So that being the case, they may have a 3 months trainee come intern role. After that, they want jobs. What you are expecting is a summer internship where they go 3 months work and come back
Yeah,
and
yeah. Summer internship, basically summer
uh,
internship.
so that is not a common thing for all companies. So, but from my NPTEL side, if there are any requirements that come, we are happy to share with you. But till now, we didn't find too many of them which say I want internship and I want from NPTEL.
Industry
Most of
internship.
them,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, most of them
yeah.
come for jobs to us, and which we share.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
Um, Good evening, sir. I wanted to ask you who are classified as toppers, sir. So is it like top only one student, or how does that go?
So I think Geeta, you want to explain how we do the topper selection? Generally, we go by the percentage that they get, the score that they get in their subjects. Sometimes, if you want only 100 people in a course, we will say 80% and above or 90% and above. And if we have an opportunity to get more people shortlisted for the job, then we don't mind reducing it to 75%. But again, performance in that subject is very critical. If the number of applicants they want to get smaller number, we reduce the score or increase the score so that they reduce the number of applications to filter. But it's mostly to do with their performance. We don't generally fix a score saying this is topper, this is not a topper. Though NPTEL gives you some kind of score based on their performance. Geeta, you want to add something? Typically, how you shortlist when you share with
Yeah,
companies?
yes, sir. Sir, usually we are taking the candidates, those who got more than 70 percentage, more than 70 percentage in the NPTEL exam. And for internships, those who got a topper badge in their certificate, they can eligible for applying the internship. Yes, that's it.
All right, ma'am, I understand.
Madam, could you explain, this is Sivagopalan from Jayanti College, Bengaluru. Could you explain the nature of internship, what exactly the children will do there? It is a couple of weeks or?
Sir, you're asking about internship from IIT professors or company
Yeah,
internship,
what
sir?
they do in the lab, that's what Prof asking.
What exactly they do, yeah.
So if I can answer that question, Geeta, typically
Yes.
profs
Yes, sir.
have projects and they actually do various experiments, right? Typical professor in IT, they do research work. So they are engaged in those activities. Some of them get some training as well as part of the lab activity. So it's typically a work done in a lab, in a research lab in an institute like IIT. It is, completely dependent on the professors. We can't define and say this is what they will do on a generic level, but they do get into the lab level activities. That much I'm aware of.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is the student has to apply or the professor will choose the particular subject? Because a lot of toppers are there.
So that is the two criteria here. One, professor should be interested to offer internship. That's the first criteria. Geeta, is that correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. Actually, as I said already, based on the availability and willingness of the professor, the student will receive the internship opportunity, sir. Actually, we first collect the willingness of the professor. So based on the willingness, we will circulate the application to the particular course.
Excuse me, whether the internship will be online or offline?
Yeah, some professors they are asking the students to take up the internship through online. Some professors they want to bring the candidates to their lab for in-person internship. So it is also it's here everything is based on the professor's willingness and professor's decisions.
Compared to number of courses offered and number of internship is very low, madam. Is it
it is completely dependent on the professor, sir. Unfortunately, this is not that NPTEL controls. Like, we don't control how many internships can be given. There's no mandatory requirement. It's more friendly gesture from a faculty. See, if you see today, most IITs have on-campus internship program that they allow for summer internships. They already have that program in place. They can recruit through that method. But because NPTEL has good relationship with the professor, we are saying, your own course toppers, why don't you give them opportunity to work in your lab? So it's like beyond the level, NPTEL has no control on how many internships can be given. But however, your point is valid that we can get more internships. But it's like not in our hands, but we are trying our best to give. And we are also getting support, external support to offer this scholarship, because this is not given by government or anybody. This internship stipend is again funded by NPTEL. We get scholarships and we get other CSR support and alumni support to support this. So it's not something that we can drive it in a large scale given our constraints, but we will try our best, because it has to start somewhere. That's the reason we want to share with you. Wherever it's available, we'll be happy to give you opportunities.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for the students, definitely. For a self-financing college student to work in IIT, it's a great opportunity. That is why I'm asking.
Yes,
You're
sir.
doing a
No, we will
wonderful
do our
job.
best, sir. Point is taken. You want more opportunities, if possible, more internship opportunities.
Right, Balraju, if I may add to this.
Yes, go on.
So one point I want to also make is, we do ask the professors. So they are open to offering internships during summer and winter. Now the professors also have to take up other projects. They also have to travel to other countries sometimes, take up teaching positions, brief time and so on. So as a professor sometimes, he's very eager and willing to take interns, but at the last moment something like this comes up and they will have to withdraw. So we can only put pressure, only so much pressure on the professors to do this. So it is slowly growing. So hopefully in the next couple of years, this will become a really good full-fledged program, and we will be able to accommodate more and more toppers as interns. So we are also approaching as many professors as possible and trying to persuade them to take our good students as interns. So let's hope that this will grow more. Thanks.
Thank you, madam.
Excuse
You are
me,
doing a wonderful job, madam. That's not definitely it's a very good opportunity for the student.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you.
excuse me, I am from Jammu. Where our students will apply for the internship at IIT Jammu, or they can apply it and all other IITs?
No, sir. Students do not apply. So how it works out is, the first we approach the professors and ask them if they are willing to take interns during a summer or a winter break. Then if the professor says yes and says, okay, this time I can take 2 students or 3 students, then what we do is we write to the students asking them to fill a Google form and asking them their willingness to participate in the internship program. So there is no place for the students to apply. We approach the students, we write to the students based on the availability and the willingness of the course instructor. Hope it's clear.
Okay. And ma'am, whether the accommodation is provided to the students at IIT, or?
Yes, as much as possible, we will provide accommodation within the campuses, because we also want them to get the full experience of the IITs or the IICs wherever they come. So as much as possible, we will try. If let's say there is no accommodation available during that time, we will try to guide them as to where they can get accommodation outside.
We have to aware the students only regarding internships that IITs are going to contact.
Right. So from your standpoint, you have to motivate the students to do as best as possible in the course. They have to score the best marks. Only
Okay.
those with the best marks will be called as interns. So your role is to motivate them to do, not just participate in an online course and get certified and so on. Their role, they have to do their best and score the best marks, and then if the opportunity comes, they'll be selected.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Balraju and Geeta, go on. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be happy to take more queries, sir, if you have any queries regarding both internships.
So actually,
But
it's not.
like Kamala ma'am said, I think doing well in certification courses is very critical. Go on, sir.
Sir, this is not with internship. I just want to know Microsoft linked program you have started and you're asking for the details from the LCs, good performing LCs. Actually, what kind of certification courses Microsoft is going to offer? There is no clear details.
Kamala ma'am or Geeta, do you want to answer? Because currently I'm not handling this.
Yeah, see, I'm
on.
also not very clear on this. So I think we have sent an email. So this particular course is first for the teachers. And once the teachers complete, I think then they can offer it to students. So this is the basic understanding that I have. Sir, if you need more details, please send an email to local chapter ID. I will check it with the concerned team and we'll get back to you.
Okay, initially they asked for the number of faculty. Then
Yeah, that is for them to get a basic, just a basic count, approximate count. For the team to understand, what kind of help they should render and so on. So any further doubts, sir? I'm not too sure about that program. I'm yet to get involved in that program. So if you have any further doubt, please send an email, sir, and we will check with the right team and get back.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall we get the PPTs? If we get the PPTs, we can share with our students so that it will be helpful for them.
This PPT, sir? You want this PPT?
Yeah.
We'll come back to you, sir, because there's some other information with respect to companies is available. We can remove and give you some abstract slides so that because some students' personal information is there. We'll try to remove and share with you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, any other queries from other SPOCs who are part of this discussion today? I hope all of you are able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if there are any queries, we'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we can close this session.
Yeah, so I think Balraj, we can be here for another 5-10 minutes. If anybody has any questions, they can put it in the chat or raise your hand. Otherwise,
Sure,
if others are happy, they have gotten enough information, then you can choose to leave also. Thank you all.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining this session. Balaji, you can close the live. You can stop the live streaming and close.